Hi, I'm Caitlin Lang. I'm the Politics and Government Editor at Indy Star, and I'm also a major Swiftie. I am here today with Katie, a 13-year-old, another major Swiftie herself, and Bryan West, the USA Today Taylor Swift reporter. That's his whole job, literally a dream job there. We're here to ask him some questions that other Taylor Swift lovers probably have and that we've been wondering ourselves. So thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I want to start a little bit about you. Have you always been a Taylor Swift fan? I imagine you have to be if you want this job.
So I love country music, and I grew up on country music in rural Nevada. And when she released Tim McGraw, that was my first introduction to Taylor. But I would say what solidified who is this teenager was she did a 2007 performance of Should Have Said No. And she went up the octave, and the rain was coming down, and it said no in the rain on stage. And I just thought, wow, this is a performer and someone to watch. So that was back when I graduated high school about 18 years ago.
So have you met Taylor Swift before?
I have met Taylor. So I met her during the Reputation Stadium tour. At the time, I was a local news reporter for the NBC in Phoenix, and I would put together clips and send it to her team of the anchors making fun of me. They would say, "We're surprised Bryan didn't call in sick to work today because Taylor dropped Reputation." And so her team said the morning of, "How soon can you get out to the stadium? Taylor wants to meet you." And so that was May 8th, 2018.
You still have the date memorized.
Still
That's
have-
impressive.
8 is my number. I know 13's hers, but 8 is mine.
Now, was that your only time meeting her? I'm assuming you've met her other times.
No, that was it.
Okay.
The only time that I've met Taylor.
Better than either of us, I assume. So you're already beating us. We're nearing a milestone for you. I hear that, one year, I believe, on the job as Taylor Swift reporter. Looking back, what's been your biggest surprise just as you've covered her?
Wow. It is kind of surreal to think that on Wednesday it will be the 1-year anniversary. So this time last year, I was leaving Phoenix. That's where I lived for about 12 years. And I couldn't tell my friends that I had gotten this position. And so I just said goodbye, hugged them a little tighter, and then took off cross country to Nashville. So right now I was sitting at one of my friends' house being like, I can't go anywhere. I can't tell people I'm in Nashville. And waiting for the announcement to come on November 6th. And I would say over the past year, what I've just loved is traveling. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought I would have gone to Tokyo or Melbourne and Sydney, Australia, or in Europe. I went to 5 different cities. Even here, it's my first time in Indianapolis. It's just been so amazing. And what I found interesting is no matter what Swiftie you meet, so whether they're Asian or Australian or European, they all speak the same language. And they all would say the same 15-second soundbite to Taylor if they had the opportunity, which is usually, "Thank you. Here's how you've impacted my life." And I thought that was really neat to meet fans that all would say the same thing globally.
I love that. Yeah, we were talking earlier off camera, and we're two kind of different types of Swifties here. I came in a debut Swiftie, and I'm hoping she announces something tonight. That would be my preference. But I remember when her album first came out, I was in middle school, and I used to sing it with my friends in gym class. And, here she is. She mentioned how she was, came along to the Swiftie train later on, and it's still, you all have the same respect for this singer, so it's just really neat to see different Swifties who love different things about her and different songs.
And it's cross-generational, so it's so neat to see. When I was in London, she called herself a 50 Swiftie, and she was dressed up as Taylor's Parisian outfit in the Carmen music video, and her husband was dressed as a banana, and it said, "My mind is alive." And for non-Swifties, that's basically an inside joke of a home video that her mom, Andrea, sent to Jimmy Fallon, and it's after LASIK surgery. She was still on some medication, and she was trying to eat a banana and was like, "I'm not asleep, my mind is alive." So it is this whole language that people speak from 13 all the way up.
So do you think that she will announce Rep or debut TV?
It's always a question that everyone anticipates. So we never know with Taylor what she's going to do. I've always thought she would hold Rep until the very last night because it's what everyone wants. And what a way to put an exclamation point on this tour. That being said, it is the last American city, so how great would it be if it was in Indy? I think it might be the very last night of the tour. But we can definitely expect that she usually does surprises. So on this last leg of the tour, she's had 5 cities. She did do a surprise in Miami. She had Florence come out and perform Florida. She also in New Orleans had Sabrina Carpenter come out. So I'm very curious, would she announce that? Would she announce debut? Would she have a music video? People have been talking about a documentary. With Taylor, what you can expect, though, this weekend is an exciting time and hopefully a surprise.
What are you going to do next? Are you still going to be a Taylor Swift reporter?
So the good thing about Taylor is her beat really never stops. So you even look at every section of news she touches: money, business, and finance, with her economic booms from the tour, music, and movies. She still has a Searchlight Productions picture that she signed a contract, and we haven't seen a movie that she's written. She also has 2 re-records. She crosses into the sports sector with Travis Kelce. We're still going to have football games, the playoffs, hopefully the Super Bowl if they do a three-peat. So with Taylor, you still have so much news that surrounds her that I don't anticipate any shortage. And I am going to clown, and this is just me talking not as an expert or knowing anything, that she's going to be a Super Bowl halftime show eventually.
Wow.
So I would love that. She said she wanted to own her re-records first. I would love it if she did that maybe in 2026 or 2027.
Are there any special guests that you think that we could see this weekend?
I was trying to think about that. What would be neat is possibly for one of the final 3 shows, maybe this weekend, would be Post Malone, possibly. A lot of fans get excited when Jan Ravnik is her dancer. And so during the Fortnite section, he comes out onto stage and you hear the stadium just absolutely lose it. It's because they think it's Post Malone. So that could be something. He's the other collaborator on Tortured Poets. She has also in the past invited her other 2 collaborators on Tortured Poets, which is Aaron Dessner of The National and Jack Antonoff. They're 2 of the producers, co-writers on the album. She sometimes brings them out to play guitar and also to sing songs with her and have little skits. And so that's a possibility, but I don't know. You know what would be really neat, though, for Indy is I hear you have a huge celebrity here that might be in attendance. What's cool about watching the Eras Tour is you do have VIPs, you do have celebrities that come and watch the show. So I'm also clowning that it would be awesome if, like, say, Caitlin Clark showed up or somebody of that nature. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Who do you think?
There's not someone in particular that I'm thinking. I know that on the Swiftie Alert app, they asked a question about if Post Malone would come out, and they're like, no, it's Jan.
Oh, that's
yeah.
so...
What about, I know you're a Sabrina Carpenter fan, so,
Yeah.
I know, but is she busy? You probably know her schedule. Is she busy this weekend, though?
She's busy today and soon. I've already seen her,
there's
though.
a plane, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
how cool would that be? And you're going tomorrow, so if a special guest comes out tomorrow, are you just going to lose it?
Yeah.
So
I
excited.
think I probably would want Post Malone to come out the most since Sabrina's already came out. I did see her recently, too, so, yeah.
It would be cool. What's neat also about this tour has been open roof stadiums. I know it is closed, but it is still so incredibly loud in there that if you're anywhere within downtown, you should still be able to hear the reverberations going through.
Wow.
What I love, though, is watching videos of when something happens. So, for example, in Miami, she revealed a new Reputation bodysuit, and there are videos outside of security guards as soon as she revealed it, and you just hear this massive, like, ah! And so that's really exciting to hear and be a part of, especially when you're in the stadium.
Yeah.
I think so. We've seen all new outfits for every era, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's
'Cause
nothing left,
Reputation was
right?
the last hope.
Okay.
It was 131 shows that she wore the red and black bodysuit.
Wow.
And I have a friend who's not within the Swiftie community who went to that Miami show, and he's like, I don't get it. Why is everybody so excited about an outfit? And I was like, sir, there are other people outside who never got a ticket who should be in your seat.
Oh man.
We don't. That was season 2, and we're on season 21. You know, there's
I
so
love
much to
that.
catch you up on.
So do you think that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift could be getting engaged, or do you think in the future, do you think it's not real?
The fun song everyone relates to them is Endgame. And so what I will say with Taylor is she seems so incredibly happy. Her dad, Scott, was just on a Southwest plane, and he was telling somebody who then shared a TikTok video that Travis has been his favorite partner of hers in the past 12
Wow.
years. And just watching them, I don't think she's ever changed the lyrics for somebody, and she does Karma as the guy on the Chiefs for Travis. She also sang the song Endgame, which is about finding your, endgame lover or the person, your soulmate. She sang that in front of him and in front of the entire crowd. She dedicated several mashups to basically professing her love to him in Paris and also in London. No, it was Gelsenkirchen, Germany. And So I don't know if there's any other proof. I have seen a lot of people say, like, is this relationship real? I'm like, just show me something that hasn't shown it's real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I anticipate they're much closer to a proposal than they ever would be to a breakup.
I agree.
Good.
Definitely.
That's a bold prediction there. So I love it. Do you think that we could see Travis Kelce in Indy this weekend, or is that a pipe dream?
I haven't followed football in 35 years, but I can tell you I've become a fast learn for the sport. Football is just as intense as a Swiftie-hood in that if he was to go, from my understanding, to a concert and let's say they lose a game, it would not look good. And so I think his last show might have truly been Germany, but we have seen his family show up. So Jason and Kylie did come in Miami, and then we saw, I would say her chosen family, Ryan Reynolds, who's been a very close friend, he was in New Orleans. And so that's what's really exciting about watching to see who shows up. But I don't know that he would come.
Do you go to every concert? Do you get just free tickets to all of these? How does that work?
So sometimes I have gotten a credential before, but usually I go if, say, like a fan has an extra ticket. And it was more so in Europe when prices were low. So there was a Paris resale ticket I got for $160 on the floor, if you can imagine.
Wow.
There was also a Lisbon ticket that I got on resale that was $80. So that was the majority of me seeing the tour, was that, or in Sydney and also in Melbourne, was getting a ticket that was only like one or two. Can you imagine?
I can't, no.
But here in the States, I have been really cognizant. I know how high the demand is. So for Indy, unless one finds its way, to me, I am just excited to cover, this magnitude. I have seen the show now 17 times. And
Wow.
It's been amazing. I've loved seeing it from every single different angle, from restricted view all the way to the floor, and I can say there's not one bad seat in the house. And I actually liked restricted view because I'm a production nerd, so it was neat to see kind of the behind the scenes of people coming on stage and off stage, or some of the props going up, like the Look What You Made Me Do vitrine pieces that they stand in, the glass cases, watching those get wheeled off, and then the lavender haze like clouds get wheeled off. So that was really neat, restricted, but also floor is amazing. And then if you're in the lower bowl, then you can actually enjoy the production and see the stage animation, so there's no bad seat. This is one of the only tours that goes 3.5 hours, but it has had such an evolution to where fans are watching by the tens, if not hundreds of thousands, online for every single concert. And that's very wild and impressive.
So now, what have you, just a couple more questions here. What have you learned about Taylor since taking the job?
Ooh, it's a really good question. I guess just that it doesn't matter if you talk to somebody that, say, is a bartender or a worker at a stadium, all the way to a CEO, every single person says the same thing, which is how kind she is. It blows my mind that she goes up to every single person, even now, and is like, "Hi, I'm Taylor," as if the person doesn't know. And so that's what's been really amazing to watch. Sometimes when you do interview celebrities or find out more about them, you hear they have maybe off days. And that so far hasn't been the case with Taylor, which I'm sure you've seen following her career as well.